pizza time!
What's up everyone? Here we are again with another mod for this pizza oven right here. As we have seen from my other videos, if you like to see them anyway, you can find them in the upper right corner right here. We have already reached very good results with the recent mods. But probably the one where you will benefit the most is the replacement of the resistance, so the heating element of our oven, with a more powerful one, obviously. In my case, I have the Caliente stereo, and this means that this oven has two heating elements, one at the top and one at the bottom below basically the pizza stone. They are 600 watts each for a total of 1200 watts. In order to reach the best results and cook the pizza in just 60 seconds, in order to match the looks and the taste of the real Neapolitan pizza style, a 1400 watts element is required. These heating elements are in a way not cheap. In fact, the 1400 watts version costs around $50 so basically almost the price of another pizza oven. Moreover, you need to change the electronical circuit, since the oven has two 110 volts heating elements, but the upgrade of the 1400 watts resistance requires 220 volts. Moreover, also the lower element needs to be replaced with a version of 220 volts, as well as the LED and other components as well. So this makes everything more expensive and more complicated to do basically. So I instead decided to do something different, which is basically free of charge, and they consist in what we will see in this video. So I will be showing you how to bring the lower thermal element on top in order to have 1200 watts of total cooking power for our pizza, and this will also bring down the time required for cooking a pizza down to 90 seconds or even less. And anyway, don't worry, the pizza will be perfectly cooked also at the bottom, since the pizza stone will be perfectly heated from the top. So follow me through the steps of this mod, and remember that before proceeding with this, I highly suggest you to watch my latest mod, which is basically the thermal isolation video, as it is mostly mandatory doing it before this mod. Otherwise, you could probably damage your pizza oven and melt the cables and plastic parts of it. You can still find that video in the upper right corner right here. Okay, let's start with disconnecting the upper resistance, and then we're gonna do the same also for the lower one. Okay, as we see, I was able to disconnect the upper resistance. It's just those two cables here. Okay, we should now be ready to take off the upper dome. We just have a couple of screws here to remove, and that's it. We can see now this piece can be removed, so we can simply take out the whole dome. Okay, we did it. Now we will try to move this lower resistance in the upper dome here, but first of all I think we need to cut some additional holes here. You can now see I was able to remove also the two cables from the lower resistance. So the yellow and the white cables, as we can see. Now we can completely remove this resistance and try to put it on the upper side. Okay, I was able to bring the first cable from downside to the upper side. Now we're gonna need to do the same for the second one. So basically we need to move these up. And we're probably gonna do that with an extension cable. So we'll probably use this one and connect it. Since we are talking about higher temperatures, for connecting it I will probably be using these connectors, ceramic connector.
think I have a theory. You make me lose my memory. Just say I can't remember anyway, anyway. To ever make me feel this way, this way. Time never analyze, make you mine again. One more shot, one more shot. You won't mind, I'll take my time to love you once again. One more shot, give me one more shot.
So it looks like the ceramic terminal block I have is way too big and it doesn't allow me to install the base properly. So I'll have to replace that. I will probably be using 3 one-way terminal blocks rather than one 3-way terminal block. Okay, we can see here I was able to cut and hole through the steel here. That should be enough for our resistance. Took some time, it's not perfect, but it should work. Okay, it fits. So So I've just realized that one hole is not enough. All these connectors are quite close to each other. So probably I will have to do another hole here in order to have a better distance among the 4 connectors. So that will require some additional time and effort, but it's probably worth it. So in the end I had to cut another hole. We can see it looks much better. There is more distance among the connectors. So in order to cut the stainless steel, I used the Dremel with this head just for the hole. And then I used this other head in order to enlarge the hole. Okay, just for testing, I turned the power on. Both resistors are very hot, so everything is working fine. We should now be ready for reassembling everything back together and do the final refinements. Now let's try to fix them together, so they should be as close as possible. You can use some iron or steel cable. You need to remove many of them as you go forward in putting them closer and closer together. And you continue doing that until you get the perfect distance that suits you. So this could be already a good result. Maybe I'll continue in order to just keep 2 of these cables, not more. We are now ready for closing everything back together. There are some people that prefer also to move this LED away into another location, but I think it should be working. I'm using an high temperature resistant tape, this one. So now let's do a quick test and see if it works. Now the first time that we will turn it on, there will be some smoke due to the new wires we added, but that will go away soon. Okay, now there seems to be no smoke anymore. So now that our mod is completed, we will now see the results by cooking a bigger pizza dough of 48 hours of rising, followed by another test, which is basically a normal 65% hydration pizza dough with 24 hours of rising.
want this? Don't stop.
As we saw from my tests, we reached already amazing results. The test with the bigger dough was anyway resulting in the pizza burned in some areas of the crust. I could have lowered down the cooking temperature probably from 450 or 470 degrees down to 420 or 430. In the second test anyway, I've lowered the crust and after 60 seconds I turned the pizza so it didn't get burned. In order to get the best results, I think we could do another couple of mods. So the first one probably rising the cooking chamber, and another mod could be allowing us to rotate the pizza stone without having to open the oven every time, in order so to have also a more homogeneous cooking by keeping 90 seconds or less as total amount of cooking time. So that's all for today. Please leave a like, thumbs up if you like this video, and write me in the comments in case you have any question for me or any suggestions or any demands. I will try anyway to bring another modding video soon, so stay tuned by subscribing to the channel if you want to know more. So that's it for today. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.